Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy James, and this is a dad's thing mountain bike edition. So I am out here on this beautiful Saturday. Get out here for my first ride of 2026, and it has been a long time since I've been out here on the bike. So whenever I get out here on a first time ride, I'd like to come to my home spot, which is Waterdog Lake and Open Space. This is where I learned how to ride my bike, and I'm gonna get here and I'm just gonna do the lake route. I'm gonna go up to Upper Lake, then come back down and do the lake loop maybe once, probably definitely once, but maybe twice. That's what I usually do, and just take it easy, just get the body moving and have some good time out here. So I'll give you a little bit of the sights and give you a little bit of commentary on the way, but really just gonna enjoy this little bit of time I got to myself, and then get home and enjoy the rest of the evening with my lady. So, all right, so I started at the bottom of this lake road right here, and I'm just gonna go all the way to the top. I'm gonna take my time, and once I get to the lake, I'll just quickly show it to you, because the lake where I would go down to the lake is about halfway to the next kind of connection, and then I have to cross the street and then go up the Upper Lake Road. And then once I get to the Upper Lake Road, I just come back down. It's a nice little descent. We'll see what it looks like. And as I was mentioning before I got started, this is where I learned to ride my bike. I will come here, go up and down this road just to get familiar with the bike. And then, fortunately, I met a friend early on, and I began riding with him, my buddy Reg. And that's when I started to really explore the Bay Area. North Bay, South Bay, East Bay. And it's been fun. It's been really, really fun. I just haven't been able to get out here as much as I'd like to. And that's all good. And the reason being is daddy duties. Lizard. Daddy duties, soccer, basketball, and all the other activities that the girls are participating in. So yeah, take a quick break, get some water at this spot right here. Woo! And one of the things I'm gonna do on this ride, because A, I'm not in a rush, I'm by myself, and it is the first ride. You could probably hear me breathing a little bit heavily, and you know, I've only been riding for a couple of minutes, but that incline is something else. It really is. But I'm going to turn the camera just so you can see some of the other terrain just across from where I'm looking. So a lot of terrain over there, as you can see up in the hills. There are homes up there. And as I ride along, you know, you'll see a lot of this area right here on either side of me. And this system here in Belmont, Waterdog Park, open space, and the lake is a beautiful trail system. And I really haven't explored all of it on my own. I've explored a lot of this park and the trail systems here with my buddy and some other friends that I've been able to catch up with and ride as a group. And they've really shown me a lot of the other area. But this is a place that I feel like if I wanted to go on any trail, The only thing that I would have to really worry about is, the elevation and the climb, right? I'm not the strongest of climbers. So that's always something that's really hard and tough for me. But it's not like I'm going to get lost in this trail system. I will find, an opening that I'm familiar with. Once I get out to one of the trailheads, I'm really familiar with the area. So it's not a matter of me being lost. It's just a matter of like, oh, okay, I'll have to take the roadway to get to the car, but I'll be able to find it okay. But it is really, uh, I would say, a friendly trail system for someone who isn't as sophisticated in knowing maps and things of that nature. And that would be me. I would not have explored as many trails that I've explored in the last 4 years, 4.5 years, if I didn't have friends that were familiar with those trails. One of my biggest concerns is going somewhere and getting lost and not being able to find my way out of the trail system, or just really finding myself on a really sketchy trail, something that my skills aren't up to par with, that I could potentially get hurt going down, or hurt somebody because I'm going the wrong way or something like that. But, I am learning, and that's one of the reasons why I love, having this trail system in my backyard, because I can take my time and really just enjoy not having to worry about too much. Okay, I'm gonna get a sip of water and then get back going, but I'll bring you some more of this beautiful park system, trail system, once I get further up the road. All right, so if you see over there, that's where the lake is. And when I come back down, I'm gonna come this way to get to the lake, and you'll get a definitely better view once I get down there. But I'm still on my climb, and my muscles is feeling it, my lungs feeling it. It's a great day to be out here. And as you can see ahead of me, this is a biker and hiker friendly trail. And the way I really got out here on this bike is I used to be a part of my city's Parks and Rec Commission. And that was my first dive into local politics. I wanted to get more involved in my community, to know my community, my neighbors a little bit better, contribute to our city. And Parks and Rec was a great introduction for me. And when I got started on Parks and Rec, one of the biggest challenges or tasks or just conversations around town was this park. And the challenges bikers and hikers were having sharing this beautiful space. And there was someone who was on one of our ad hoc committees, and is a mountain bike rider. And I was talking to him and I said, I'd really love to get out on a bike and see what it's like firsthand from a biker's perspective. I had already taken a hike, so I got a chance to see what that was all about. So this gentleman had some bikes and we met up at the park. He took me for a ride. And at this point, I hadn't been on the bike in ages. And I was out of shape. And I nearly died on that trail. Not literally, but I felt like it. And it got to one point where I said, yo, I got to stop. And I literally laid down on the trail because I couldn't ride anymore. And I thought it was the end. But it was a great experience in that it was very fun. It's always fun when you're got a guide who knows where they're going, so didn't have to worry about getting lost. And I got an opportunity to see from a biker's perspective what it was like on the trails, sharing it with other riders, sharing it with hikers, and it really gave me a great perspective to be able to do the work that I needed to do on that committee and be able to talk to all of my community members who had an interest, whether it be a hiker or a biker. I no longer had to guess. I knew what it felt like firsthand. And from there, I really developed a love for being out on the trails. And not too long after that, I bought myself a bike, this bike that I'm on now. This is my first bike, mountain bike. And it was a really good entry for me. It had everything that I wanted, or everything that I knew I wanted. You begin to find out really quickly once you get into this sport that there's always something else, there's always an upgrade. But I wanted a 1x10 or 12 drivetrain gear ratio box. Got that. Wanted to get a dropper post. That came standard on this bike. 27.5 wheels, and it's been a great bike for me. It's a hardtail, so I don't have dual suspension. And this research that I did, it really talked about how riding a hardtail could really help your riding in the beginning, because you're going to really feel the trail. You're not going to have that suspension in the back that's going to absorb the shock, the bumps and everything, and you're really going to feel it. You're really going to have to pick your lines, so on and so forth. And it really has helped my riding. And now that I'm a little bit older and I don't get out as much, I can see the benefits of having dual suspension, because then my body doesn't have to take all of the pounding, because I've got that rear shock that's going to absorb it. So one of these days, when I'm able to, I might pick up a dual suspension bike and go from there. And it might be a dual suspension e-bike, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. But yeah, that's how I got out here on the trails, and I'm making my way up to the top. Got some more hikers. May have a couple more turns to go, but pretty soon I'll be hitting a trailhead. And then once I hit that trailhead, I've got to cross the street and then finish my journey to the top of Lake Road. And when I get to that section, it's called Upper Lake Road. And then, like I said, I'll come back down and then I'll take my circle around the lake, which is a lot different than this kind of service road, fire road. Once I get down on the lake, I'll be a little bit more on a much narrower trail, and under cover a lot more. Looks like a newly fallen tree. So, yeah. So there you have it. That was Lower Lake. This right here is going to be Upper Lake. But yeah, I was on lower, and like I said, there's a parking spot right there. As you can see, a lot of hikers. There's some bikes out here as well today, but people bring their dogs out. It's supposed to be on a leash. I know that gentleman just got out of his car, but you know, as soon as the dogs come out, they come towards my area, and I just have to stop. You know, people need to be mindful and respectful. Those are some of the things that we hope for, and I just read that on the sign. It's just respecting the space and everybody that's out here. One of the big issues, another big issue that I faced when I was on Parks and Rec was having dog parks open and available to the community. My daughter is actually allergic to dogs, and if those dogs that ran over towards me had done that to her, it would have been very, very frightening situation to her. And over the years, we've had to really teach her how, you know, just to be mindful of where she's at, because as soon as she sees a dog, she's trying to run out of the way, and sometimes not aware that, you know, I'm on the sidewalk or whatever it may be. But that's why it goes both ways. She needs to, you know, be observant. But people who have dogs also need to understand that just because you love dogs and it's a part of your family, it doesn't mean that it's a safe thing for everybody else in the community. So, you know, if you have to have your dog on a leash, which you're supposed to have, you know, in parks and open spaces, please do so. It will help, you know, build community and keep a respectful engagement and encounters as you do it. So yeah, that's my public service announcement from a former Parks and Rec commissioner. All right, cool. Let's get going. Let's get going. Another trailhead opening. Yeah. Right here is just going down the way we came up. It is fun. It's got a couple of features. You can see one right there. It's kind of a turnout, go up and down. Then as you get down a little bit, there's a little jump that you can take that I've gotten better at over the years, and I've taken it. We'll see what I do this time. I might not. I might just take the ride down and coast down and do it, but you get a chance to see that. But I'm gonna get a quick drink and then we'll head down. There we go. Go up and around there if I wanted to. Decided not to. A little branch there. Yeah, just gotta be mindful. People coming up, they won't be coming up too fast. I'll definitely be coming down on them a lot faster. But this is a spot where you can get going. Around this bend, once I get around this bend, there's gonna be a spot where there's a little jump. If you're going fast enough, kind of right here, you can really get some air. I usually take it, but like I said, I'm just getting out here for the first time, so taking it fairly easy. But there you go. That's the upper loop, what that looks like. And then go around and get down here. Excuse me. Get back down. Careful of the cars, the people. Okay. And then this will be where I would go, either John Brooks down that way. But like I said, I'm just gonna go back down to the lake. And once I get down there, I'll see if I'm gonna actually do a loop. Only reason being is it's hot out here and I can already start feeling my body starting to tighten up a little bit. So I don't want to overdo it, get cramps, things of that nature. So we'll see. But I'm definitely gonna go down to the lake so we can get a view of that, show you what the lake looks like. But here is, you know, you can really get your speed up on going down, and you really got to be mindful of that because as you can see, we've got our hikers, dogs, and you don't want to be blasting down here and people are walking, not being friendly. But there's definitely some spots where you can open it up if you don't see anybody. And this is why it's called Waterdog. Some ducks out there. I've never seen the lake this low. Never. It's really low. Wow. But yeah, this is the lake. And as you can see from the lake, it's a loop. I usually start that way. It will go around, come back through, and then come down that way, and then head back out. And I think I got it in me. Give you a quick loop. It's not long at all. It's about a half a mile. You know, there is some terrain you have to navigate. So you have that. People are walking on there as well. So you have to be mindful of hikers and other bikers. But yeah, I'll take a loop. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yep. Some climbing for sure. And maybe I'll get lucky and I don't run into anyone. My goal, whenever I take the loop and I practice, is try to be clean. You know, there's some tight areas. Oh, say ooh because my forearms are starting to cramp up. But definitely more technical over here. Do stuff like dip your shoulders. There's the bridge here. This is always a good smooth transition. But one of two important things when doing this loop is being in the right gear. And you post your seat height. Don't want to be too high. Don't want to be too low. So there will be some ups and downs with that. the area. Not in the right gear. See, that's where local knowledge definitely comes in. I knew as I was just talking about being in the right gear, but because I hadn't been out in a while and I wanted to make sure I cleared the bridge, I wasn't in the right gear. But here's an opportunity to take a look at. I passed that gentleman down there. Now he's up. So you can see kind of the elevation. Another biker there. But that's Lake Road that I was on. So let's finish up this loop. Make sure in the right gear. A little softer down here. Moist. Okay. There you go. Tricky spot here. There we go. Tricky because you gotta watch your head. Get over that ramp. And muscle it up that hill. But we did it. Excuse me. Now you can see the lake coming out on the other side. There you go. And there you have it. That's the loop. And this will be the last climb right here. Lizard, lizard. Some sun. Ah. All right. So downhill from here. To your left. Thank you. So there you have it. That's Waterdog Park. Waterdog Lake, an open space, right here in my backyard. And it's great to have such a beautiful trail system right in your backyard, where you don't have to go too far, get a little bit of everything. That right there was what I would call more of an easy, leisurely ride. There are definitely some trails there that will challenge the most seasoned of riders. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody who needs some mountain bike action. So just wanted to share with you today's ride. It was beautiful. It was awesome. My first ride of the year. Looking forward to many more to come and exploring this great Bay Area mountain bike riding that we have out here. So as always, God bless. Take care, be good, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.